What's up YouTube? It's Brandon from Tattooing 101 and we're going to go over something a little bit differently today. It's something that a lot of tattoo artists think about but they don't actually say out loud, and that's how we actually feel about Pinterest tattoos. All of the designs that we get on a weekly basis that we've done thousands of times but obviously have bills to pay, so we still are going to do. Also going to tell you how to make them a little bit better, to make them stand out a little bit more and help you build a name for yourself in the tattoo industry. So with that being said, let's get into it. So as a tattoo artist, we see tons of things all of the time. Same tattoo request ideas, trends, all of these things that equal up to people having the exact same tattoo all of the time. So let's go through. I literally just typed in Pinterest tattoo on Google, and the main ones that come up are the ones that we see all of the time. First off is going to be the money rose. Now, as you can see here, it is exactly what it says. It is a money rose. With that, I have tattooed this design tons of times, and this is actually a pretty okay tattoo. I've seen this done terribly. I've seen it done well, way fewer times than I've seen it done really bad. Now, it used to be a cool idea when I was younger. Now that I'm getting a little bit older, I just am super happy that I did not get one. Now, if you do have one, nothing against that. Everyone has their things that they're into. I'm just not about it. I'd rather have just a really good traditional rose than getting a money rose. Now, everyone's seen the meme for the next one. That is going to be the clock, compass, lion, the three elements mixed together that every realism artist has done multiple times in their career. That's pretty much how you learn realism, is doing lines, clocks, and compasses. So this kind of tattoo is done all of the time. You mix those three elements together. I'm scrolling down here and you could see just the unbelievable amount of tattoos with these elements in it. There really isn't any way to make this any different. Everything has been done. Anything you could think of has been done with these three elements. So do I still do them? Yes, I'll pull realistic elements together, and if that's what they want, I'll do it. I'll try to talk them into something a little bit different, you know, trying to think outside of the box, but let's be serious. People like it, people think it's cool, and we are going to consistently keep doing it probably for a while until the next trend comes along. Fine line flowers. Every flash day, every first tattoo, every person that really wants a tattoo but doesn't want to take up a lot of real estate, this is going to be that tattoo. And out of all of these, this is the most covered up thing that I do, because someone wants a small tattoo to get into it, make sure that they could cover it, all these things, and then they're like, oh, I want something different. I want something bigger. I actually didn't hate the experience. I want to do more. Then I have to cover these up. So understand that when you're doing these, they're not going to heal up great. They're fine line tattoos. You can see here that there's blowouts on the bottom, some faint lines on the top. Fine line tattoos, you're using a 3-round liner, 5-round liner, whatever it may be, and they just don't heal up that great. So they're just one of the most covered up tattoos out there, just like this one. You know, you could clearly see what they all are, but this is just a ton of fine line tattoos, just kind of flash thrown on there. Some people like that look. I'm just not a big fan. I would rather have big bold stuff than just a bunch of tiny stuff on me, but to each is their own. Out of all of these, the biggest one I wish would disappear is going to be the side of the hand or side of the finger tattoos. They're not going to stay. Everyone sees these on Pinterest and they're like, this is beautiful, this is elegant, this is perfect, exactly what I want. And they believe it's going to look like this. So then we have to talk to them and be like, okay, well, with the natural process of healing, it's not going to stay, it's going to fade, all of these things to where it's not going to be like this in the final healing process of the tattoo. And they're like, I saw it online. And I'm like, yes, that's a fresh tattoo. And then I always show them, this is what it looks like when it's healed and it disappears. Nothing we can do about it. And then there's a part in their head that'll be like, okay, you're just not good enough. So they try to go to somewhere else that don't tell them the negative effects. They get it done, and then you have to try to cover it up on an area that you didn't want a tattoo to begin with. So for everyone out there that is wanting to do this, it's not worth it. It really isn't. It's not gonna stay, no matter what. So it's just a waste of money and time. So just looking through here, I would say A couple of these are not ones that I would call Pinterest tattoos. You know, like the geometric stuff. Yes, I've done a lot of it, but it's really easy to do different, so it's not like the same matching stuff. And people don't come in and just be like, okay, I want this exact geometric design. They're just like, I want this style, and then you can make it happen. So I wouldn't really classify that as Pinterest tattoo per se. What I'm not seeing on here, which is actually really surprising, is the forest tattoos. I know that. Funny, it just came up. So this is going to be a huge one. I've actually tattooed silhouette of a bear, forest, all of this stuff multiple times throughout my career. I remember that it came to be fairly big, probably early 2012, probably, is around when it started to get kind of popular. It got really big, I'd say probably around 2015, 16. Everyone was getting them, and you see a ton of them, and it is overdone. It's cool. I like the idea. If you like outdoor stuff, you know, that's great. But you're taking up a lot of real estate with just straight black, and it's also going to be so hard to cover. Almost impossible. Anything is possible, but it is just a nightmare to try to turn into something different. So if you are thinking about getting this, really think and process your thoughts on this. Like, there's some people out there that have done great stuff like this with the wolf, you know, adding some wolves in here with the trees. Like, there are some cooler stuff you could do, even this. But for some reason, maybe it's price, but you know, they end up getting the blacked out trees that everyone has like this, and let's be serious, it doesn't really look that great. And there's so much other cool things you could get in that real estate to have a better tattoo. Like this, I could live with that. You know, you have the silhouette, but you have some different kind of elements in there to give a full effect. Like this one's the exact same. They just added some depth. Also straight black, gonna be impossible to cover. If I was to get any of them, this one isn't bad. This one is pretty cool how it has, you know, I don't really know what that is on the bottom. You know, it's probably made by AI, because that don't make no sense. There's like 17 legs there. Maybe? Yeah, it looks like AI to me, because that looks like a camel with 17 legs holding a knife. But other than the camel holding a knife, I would probably think about getting that if I was wanting to cover something. I wouldn't just get it on regular skin, but if I needed some heavy black stuff to cover up something, I would think about it. So before we get back into it, I want to know, what tattoos have you seen in this industry the most? What's some ones that you have done in the recent times of tattooing? I know big ones right now. Infinity signs have been around for a while. They're kind of dying off, I would say. Now it's going to be the angelic numbers. I tattoo them all the time. The 333s, 444s. All of that stuff is pretty big, and I don't want to do it anymore, but we have bills. Okay, out of all of them, I would say that this is probably one of the poster children of the Pinterest tattoos. It's going to be the Rock Polynesians Tribal. And people see this and want to get it because it's on Pinterest, because it's online, because someone famous has it. But there's a lot of story that goes into this. There's a lot of knowledge that, you know, I've heard from Jay. When I went to Hawaii, got to hear a lot of stuff. Everything means something differently. So if you are copying this, and I see artists copy this stuff all of the time online, I hear about it, I see it in person, people want to get it covered up. It's so dark. If it's done well, the tattoos nice and saturated, the lines are in there, and it has no meaning. You know, these are supposed to be meaningful designs that you get for your life, your growth, all these things, and people are just getting them without knowing any of that stuff just because someone else has it. And I understand, like, it looks cool. It is great, but you know, I have a client that I'm doing this on it. He got it started when he was in the military, and it actually had meaning for him, all of these things, and I'm kind of just fixing it up. So I don't have to completely design a tattoo for this style because I don't have the knowledge on it. I don't have the years of experience understanding what all of these mean. So I will fix them up. I'll kind of make them look better, but I'm not going to completely come up with a Polynesian design. That's not my wheelhouse. There's plenty of great artists out there that are better prepared to give you something meaningful and it will actually go with your life than just getting a cool tattoo. So even though we are in this for the lifestyle, to make money, to live a great life, there's boundaries with that, right? And that's what makes you a better person, a better artist, all of these things. And that is understanding when someone is better equipped to do it. We're not here to just say we could do it all and just do everything that walks through the door. Yes, we do have bills, but when it comes to something like this, that you don't have the knowledge behind it, you don't have the story to go with a tattoo as deep as this, it's better to not do it than to just get the money from someone, because that's kind of, in my book, being shady. And that's how I live my life. It's not for everybody. I completely understand if you are sitting in a tattoo shop for 2 months, someone comes in wanting a tattoo like this, you have to do it, you have to eat, I get it. But we want to get in a point of our career to be able to better the art, better the industry. And that starts with you. I try to do my best, live my life up to helping people out, to hold myself accountable. But now it falls on all of you to help change this industry and make it into something different. So those are my feelings on Pinterest tattoos and how most tattoo artists feel about them, but they're not going to come out and say because they like to make money. I hope you found this interesting, and I have plenty of more fun stuff coming up in the future. So if you would like to help me out, hit that little like and sub button. It helps me out a ton being able to make more fun stuff in the future for you guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.